Hello everybody, it's part 4. You made it to part 4 of training our students who really suffer trauma. And we're doing this as a community by the masses, right? So we call that, we scale. We're scaling this treatment of getting everyone to kind of learn together and rewire and restore their thinking and their neuroanatomical response to pressure. So we have psychological, emotional trauma, and stress. This is not psychotherapy. This is not psychology. This is not cognitive behavioral anything. It's not DBT. This is mindset. This is wellness. This is like yoga in the classroom, right? We're creating parasympathetic functioning students. When we do that, we are creating students who are learning to be responders versus reactors under difficult times. Let me say it another way. We are training our students to be resilient and how to weather stressful moments in their life. We are the trainers and coaches for ourselves as educators as we model for our students on how to be immune to tough times, harsh times, unannounced times, unpredictable insults that happen in life, that will train our students to be able to get through those moments without impairing their ability to function in the way that they would otherwise without those same insults. Meaning, if someone didn't die in their family, this is how they would be performing. Now someone has died in their family and they're very upset, we're going to teach them how to continue to perform that way. It's really not all that complicated. You have to understand how the brain and body work. And you don't have to be a clinician or a medical doctor to train. This is why breathing is the #1 driver. Number 2 is mindset. Number 3, the number 3 principle of this is taking the mindset and now that you have the phrases and the positive that's being announced and reprogrammed into your mind, now we're going to break that down to something simple. So your playbook is a prompt to get you into a mindset of not only recovery, but prevention. All right, so watch how this works. So we learn to breathe in for 3 seconds. And then to breathe out for 3 seconds. But then we said breathing out for twice as long is that much better. And we breathe out. And we want to do that 10 repetitions and try to double it. If you can't double it, just add a few repetitions onto it, right? And then you add a few more. I say double it because if you're really working hard at this, people typically are able to double just with a lot of practice. And then I said create a mindset. How do you create mindset? These are good lessons for schools. The mindset starts with how do you take something negative and make it a positive? So the first thing the brain says, I'm a failure. We actually want to create a lesson for our students that is, I am successful. It's the opposite of failure. So student writes up on the whiteboard, I continue, let me think better than that. How about I disappoint myself? So what's the opposite of that? I have self-confidence. I believe in myself. And as we write them down, and the student is now looking at those, breathing, and then is doing it throughout the day. Let's say every class builds it into their instruction. Or let's say we only do it in the morning, but when school starts, and at the end of the day, before the day is over. What we want to graduate to on this level, on this part of the training, is how do we create it where it's a prompt? The prompt, because people don't really remember well. And the more you practice, the less you have to remember. But people don't remember well when they're under stress. Why? Because your frontal lobes are not available to you. So we create a prompt, and the prompt looks like this. The student says to himself, I hate it when this happens. Everything always happens to me. So now we create a phrase that says, I am fortunate. And that's what the student is practicing. I am fortunate. And he breathes out. I am fortunate. I am fortunate. See how it works? Now I want to create a prompt. What is the prompt of that I am fortunate? One word, fortunate. So watch what happens. We get the student, we train them when we get to this level to use the prompt, the keyword, as fortunate. So we do this. Fortunate. Fortunate. Notice I was breathing out with my nose on that one. When we use the prompt is now pulling out the file of that trigger, that stressor, even if it's anticipated, and it pulls out and argues the word fortunate with what the brain would normally want to say to itself in a ruminating, inflexible way. Everything bad always happens to me. I'm the one that always gets cut. This coach has it out for me. Why am I the only one that doesn't get this? Again, another girl breaks up with me. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. I can't do anything right. Fortunate. Another word, confident. Secure. Big word, ready? Proud. When you have the prompt that was in the sentence and you graduate to this level, now we're in a really good place. Now we have people that when they're having a bad day, they can walk around and say, proud. They can have it as a note on their hand, have it in their phone, proud. And the word proud prompts the breathing to slow down and become rhythmic. The sentence gets spelled out and repeated in their head without them cognitively having to do it. They're just cognizant of the content and material. And it actually starts to play that record and realign the body to function in a high-performing, parasympathetic way. Just like Tom Brady does, fourth quarter, 30 seconds on the clock, and he says, victory. He doesn't say, oh, again, we're going to lose. Victory. Pass completion. Touchdown. He says, 30 seconds, that's a whole day for me. What do other people do? They panic. Oh my God, we only have 30 seconds. There's no way we're going to go down the field 60 yards. That's not Tom Brady. And I'm not the hugest Tom Brady fan. But I believe in Tom Brady. His results are inevitable. You can't argue that guy's model. You can't argue it. He's the best. So what does this mean? What happens is, educators, is that when students are struggling, we actually inadvertently make this worse for students. We say things like, oh, here you go again. You're gonna make another bad decision. Why do you always do this? When are you gonna learn? What part of the word no don't you understand? How many times do I need to tell you? What do you want to end up in jail one day? Is that what you want? Are you looking to have a suspension? What do you want to hit him and get your face knocked off? You know what? If you just took one good beating, you would learn to keep your mouth shut. I've heard all of those lines before. And listen, I'm not perfect. I've said plenty of wrong things in my day, not only to my own children, to students as well, just out of stress and frustration. But I learned and I practiced to get good at this, because if I'm going to build the integrity of my students as a community, I have to have integrity. And I can't practice what I preach. I have to preach what I practice, which is why I'm delivering these videos. We want to get these students thinking differently. Educators have to think differently. We have to think about, you can do this. I believe it. You don't have to believe in yourself right now. I believe in you. I will believe in you for you. But all I'm asking you to do is stay in your chair while I give this lesson and slow your breathing down. Think about how many times we even say to our own children, but particularly to students, you know what the problem is? You're too anxious. If you're going to come in here with an attitude, of course you're going to fail. Of course people are going to be mad at you. If you don't have a positive, optimistic attitude, there is no way you're going to make it on this team. You know what the problem is? You worry too much. You just need to slow down your worry. We're reinforcing exactly what the child or student is suffering and which is worrying about. We want to say confidence. This is what makes brilliant coaches. This is what makes winning teams win. They have the leadership. Now, as a leader, when I'm with teams of mine, even my own employees, I use these tools. I want my team to be highly successful. If they lose, I lose. If I don't have a winning attitude, they don't have a chance. When they're young, not only do they not have a chance, they will then self-destruct and self-sabotage just to get it over with, because you've already told them they don't have a chance. So in this one, it's the prompt. It's the one word. You need that one word that's going to illuminate where they say, confident, victory, safe, responsible, big one, respect. Respect, even to respect themselves. This is the big category, because I have another category to this that has multiple parts to it, but when you get to this point, you're ready to take on the mission of actually healing and restoring people, and you don't have to be a clinician to do it. This is all about mindset. It's integrative wellness, everybody. This is integrative educational wellness. And I want to thank you for being a part of this platform of tools, because this is what parents need to do for their children. This is what we have to do as adults. Even as coaches, we say to things like to students or our players, don't drop the ball in the end zone because this is on you. You know, we don't want to lose this game. Really? Do you think the player wants to lose the game? I mean, you're not boosting the child's confidence, you're ruining it. We want to boost. We want to get the mindset to now become sophisticated by doing the basics so it can successfully argue with the brain's autonomic, which means automatic, negative thought syndrome, which comes from the center of the brain. Everyone has it, but it's able to be achieved if you follow these steps this way. Please, I believe in you guys. Get to this level and practice this and get secure with it, because when I deliver the whole next set of skills, you would had to have graduated and achieved these levels successfully first, so that we could take it to the finish line. Listen, we're training our students by the masses. We don't want to just have to attend to one student at a time. There's too many, and we will do that. We will do that. When we do the masses and there's certain students still struggling, we will get them individually. But let's get everybody. Let's deliver to everybody so we win as communities. Thank you so much, and God bless.